Hey football fans, we're here for Tita Field in Las Vegas, Nevada, home of the Bishop Gorman Gales. Tonight's opponent, the Desert Oasis Diamondbacks, also from Las Vegas, are heading into war for the first time this season. They have a distinct disadvantage to Bishop Gorman, who has already fought 2 hard battles, winning against number 24 ranked Chaparral from Arizona and number 2 Armwood out of Florida. Bishop Gorman is currently ranked 10 in the nation and features several top Division I recruits, including Ronnie Stanley and Shaquille Powell.
First game, right? First game, first league, first time for them. Don't be surprised if they come out with something funny. Model, we gotta match it. Watch correct from the model. You got me? Martinez, do a good job of setting them up. Keep your weight. Understand me? Hey.
Bishop Gorman quarterback Jared Solomon wastes no time in establishing offensive dominance, dropping a 44-yard bomb to Jarrett Tillman on the first play of the game. This was followed up on the next play by a familiar Shaquille Powell touchdown run. So, after 38 seconds of play only, Bishop Gorman is on top, 7-0. Bishop Gorman's special teams also established its dominance early in the game with a crushing blow to Desert Oasis number 10 by Bishop Gorman sophomore Nathan Starks. Let's watch that again. Desert Oasis kept pounding away on the ground, trying to find that hole, hoping to find a weakness to exploit on the Bishop Gorman defensive line. When that failed, they took to the air, lobbing a pass that had potential to even up the score and get the Diamondbacks back into the game. But it just wasn't meant to be. Diamondback punt gave the ball back to the Gales near midfield, where the Gales called on the talents once again of Nathan Starks to move the ball up the field. Then, Jared Solomon launches a bomb to hit his favorite downfield target, Jameer Tillman. This led the way for number 24, Nathan Starks, to finish what he started and end the series running into the end zone. Still in the first quarter, Desert Oasis offense fought hard to make any progress, but constantly met trouble on Gorman's overwhelming defensive line. Taking to the air was equally frustrating for the Diamondbacks. Bishop Gorman's next possession showcased the talents of highly recruited team star Shaquille Powell on a 38-yard dash that set up the next score for the Gales, and Solomon hit junior receiver Dalton Baker in the end zone for 6. The extra point put Gorman up 21-0 in the first quarter. We're just coming into the second quarter right now. Bishop Gorman up 21-0 right now. You gotta feel sorry for these guys. On the line, they are getting beat down. The size difference is just amazing. A quick turnover saw Bishop Gorman once again march down the field quickly on a 58-yard touchdown dash by, no surprise, Nathan Starks. I can promise you we're going to be hearing much more of this sophomore superstar over the next 3 years of his high school football career. Gorman continued to apply the pressure by punishing any ball carrier who dared to stand in their way. Here's junior Justin Sweet with the big hit on special teams. That deserves a replay. One play later, a Desert Oasis pass is answered by a name we are all familiar with as a star offensive player, but not enough is said about Shaquille Powell's ability to play both sides of the ball. For his hard work on defense, Powell is rewarded by Coach Sanchez and receives a nod to walk the ball into the end zone behind his dominating front line, putting the Gales up 35-0. On the next series of downs, 6'2", 222-pound sophomore Isaiah Nakua led the Gales in stopping the Diamondbacks short of gaining any ground. Solomon, with his razor-sharp accuracy, finds his mark with junior tight end Robert Stanley, which sets up another toss to the end zone, finding its mark with number 4 Jamar Tillman once again. In the air or on the ground, Desert Oasis just couldn't seem to come up with the formula to move the ball on offense, totaling a measly 56 yards for the half compared to Bishop Gorman's 304.
It's halftime here with the Bishop Gorman Gales and Desert Oasis Diamondbacks. Score 42-0, Bishop Gorman is up.
The night couldn't be going any better for the Gales. After suffering their first loss at home in 3 years, just last week to the number 2 nationally ranked team Armwood, they've pulled it together and are showing the kind of poise and fortitude that championship teams are made of. Before we take you to the second half, I had the opportunity of visiting the practice of Bishop Gorman and asking some of their star players what they do to prepare for the big game. Here's what they had to say.
Me and my guard, we have this secret handshake that we always do before every game, just to let each other know that we both have each other back throughout the whole game.
Well, everyone prepares differently. Some guys try to get real, crazy and loud, and I usually just focus my mind and I relax. I sit there and I think about the game. I think about the plays I'm going to be running, and for some reason, I always, when I'm traveling to a different place, I like to have a clean locker with all my clothes hanging up. So when I'm done, I come, everything's right there for me. So I don't know. I feel like that's kind of good luck. But,
we usually eat the pregame meal. We have mass before the game, and then I come back, listen to music, drink a lot of Gatorade, and I always spat before every game, tape over my shoes. It's kind of a ritual for me. So.
If you want to hear about more rituals from before, during, and after the big game, just sign in to www.maxpreps.com/signatures.
Alright, with the second half almost underway, the Bishop Gorman Gales are leading the Desert Oasis Diamondbacks by a lopsided score of 42-0. We expect head coach Sanchez to give his starters a rest for a job well done, and we should see some of the future stars for Bishop Gorman in the second half of play tonight. The second half got underway with Desert Oasis fighting hard to save face after a disappointing first half. But their troubles continued as Bishop Gorman displayed the enormous depth of talent that lies in their second and even third string lineups. The second half was led by Gorman backup quarterback, senior Makoa Tyndall. And although not as dominating as they were in the first half, they were still able to move steadily up the field through solid blocking from the line and skilled running from junior running back Tajon Allen. This led to a field goal by legman Klein Fielden to put the Gales up 45-0. The fourth quarter saw some bright spots for the Diamondbacks as they tried to regain dignity on the field, but the Gales were just too tough as they slowly smothered the life out of any comeback attempts with amazing plays such as this 85-yard punt return by junior Ryan Smith, sealing the fate of Desert Oasis in its loss to Bishop Gorman 52-0.
Returns the punt, 85 yards, touchdown, Bishop Gorman Gales.
All right, what were your thoughts on this game today?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. It's one of those deals where you're kind of afraid of a letdown. You know, we've had 2 huge games and great venues against big teams. And Desert Oasis, you know, they return a lot of guys. You know, they do a great job. They're real organized over there. So I was a little nervous about coming out a little flat after those 2 weeks. But, you know, our kids did a good job, you know, being even killed, but at the same time competing at a high level. Offensively, we looked sharp early. Defense took a minute to kind of settle in. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good night.
Now that you've got 3 games under your belt, who are some of the players to watch out for?
Well, you know, I think, you know, you kind of see Shaquille Powell obviously is going to be the guy, and then you kind of lean on that big offensive line. You know, what it's doing is forcing people to put 8, 9 guys in the box, and it's leaving guys out wide. Tillman showing that he can come through. And I tell you what, Ryan Smith, who had a great year last year, 16 touchdowns, kind of a slow start for him to get that punt return was fantastic. Kind of got his motor going. You know, and then if you look on defense, you know, the secondary is evolving. You know, they're a little young, but Justin Sweet's really come through. Nathan Starks is looking better. You know, and I really love our play from our middle linebacker Ben Guida.
From the first score by Bishop Gorman, there was no looking back. They powered through Desert Oasis and came out on top, 52-0. We'll see you next week at Durango High School in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Nick Nielson signing off with Max Preps at the game, fueled by G-Series.